Greetings, my name is Jay Callanet. I am the author of the Skyrim mod known as Relics of Hyrule, and this video is meant to be a guide for how to install the mod. And I'm going to do my best to give as much detail as possible for installing and enabling the mod, so that hopefully this will help anybody who wants to use the mod. So first things first, you can find the mod on the Skyrim Nexus or the Skyrim Special Edition Nexus, nexusmods.com. So you can search, if you go to their website, nexusmods.com, you can search Relics of Hyrule, like so, and it'll be the first thing that comes up. If you search Zelda, it'll also be the first thing that comes up. The Legendary Edition for standard Old Rim Skyrim, that one will be the first that comes up. Special Edition isn't too far behind. The mod is only available for PC. It's not available for consoles, and it's not going to be available for consoles. There's an explanation for that in the articles section of the main mod page, on both mod pages. But even if you type into Google Relics of Hyrule, the wiki will come up first, and the mod itself will be down there. Maybe it's because I search for Relics of Hyrule a lot, because I look for what people are saying on the internet about Relics of Hyrule. But it's a very unique name, so it should come up. No matter what, you'll eventually find it on the Skyrim Nexus. If you find it anywhere but the Skyrim Nexus, it is not there with my permission. So it is only meant to be on the Skyrim and Skyrim Special Edition Nexus websites. If it's anywhere else, somebody has stolen it. Or, like, sometime way down the line, the Nexus goes offline or something like that, and I have to host it somewhere else. But chances are it's not going to be on the Steam Workshop. It's not going to be on any other website. It's only going to be on the Nexus. So, to install it, let's do Legendary Edition first. To install it, you go to the page. Make sure you read the description. It is kind of long. I am going to update the description in version 6.6, so it's a little more concise. There's a few trailers hosted on my YouTube channel that help sort of show what the mod is all about. Requirements: you need Dawnguard and Dragonborn, at least. If you have the full installation, that's fine. Hearthfire is not used. I do recommend having Skse, because I'm planning some extra things in the future. So Skse, you can find it by searching Skse. And the Skyrim script extender, it is necessary for both versions of it. Once you download it, if you are using the .7z archive, you open that up. All of this stuff for Skse goes into your Skyrim folder, just the Skyrim folder. So for me, it's D, Program Files, Steam, Steam Apps, Commons, Skyrim. This has to be where the executable for Skyrim is. You can find where your installation is by opening up Steam. It's opening up. Click Library, and then right-click on whichever version of Skyrim you have installed. So, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Go to Properties, Local Files, Browse Local Files, and that will bring you to the directory that has your installation in it. So it has to be in here where the tes5.exe, you can see right here, the Skse loader is in the same folder as tes5.exe right there. They're in the same folder. Whenever you play Skyrim with Skse installed, you have to load it from this skse loader.exe. So on my desktop, this shortcut goes to the Skse loader. You can see it's set to Skse loader. So you can, once you have it in this directory, you can do this, create shortcut, and then bring that to your desktop or whatever. It's the same with Special Edition. So let's say I download the Special Edition version. So let's go to Downloads, Skyrim Special Edition, Skse. I'm not going to install it, I already have it installed, but I'll show you. So there you go. And Special Edition, we do the same thing. We right click, we go to Browse Local Files, and there's Skyrim SE and Skyrim Launcher. And then we have extracted the Skse 64 loader so that all of this stuff in here, everything here, you could just even click and drag it just like that. Boom. And it will ask you to merge the folders. I am on Windows 7. I don't know if Windows 10 does anything different. Merge the folders. You click yes. So you merge the folders. You would merge the folder, and then anything that it wants to replace, you copy and replace, copy and replace, copy and replace, copy and replace, copy and replace. And the same thing for everything it wants to install. Anything it wants to install, you gotta let it do it, or else Skse won't really work. So we've installed that. That is the newest version. Yeah, 2.0.17 is the newest version of Skse for Special Edition. So then, whenever you're running Special Edition, you would always launch it from that executable, skse64_loader.exe. That way, it loads Skse into your game, and it can run other things. Right now, Relics of Hyrule doesn't use it, but in version 6.6, it will use Skse, and Skse is just generally a good thing to have installed if you're using mods. So, that's how you can get that ready. That's one requirement. The other requirement is both DLC. With Special Edition, you don't need to worry about that, the requirements. No dependencies other than the base game, except Skse, which I do need to add to this. Required files. I'm going to add Skse. Skse, Skyrim script extender. Boom. Okay. Okay. Very quick addition of Skse 64. Okay, so you have Skse installed, and now you want to install the mod. So, to install the mod, you go to Files. You're on the Skyrim page, Skyrim Nexus page, nexusmods.com/Skyrim/mods/4615. That's the code for Relics of Hyrule. And all you would install is the newest main version. You can download it with a mod manager, but what I would recommend is doing a manual download. So you click manual download, and it asks you if you have the required files. You click download, and then it will pop up with this. You click slow download unless you have premium, and then you click fast download. You click slow download wherever you want. I should probably save this for my own files anyway. It is a .7z archive, so you will want 7-zip. Like I said, it is a free online program. You just search for 7-zip. There we go. It works just like WinZip or WinRAR, but it's open source and it's free, and it does .7z format, and I used .7z because it makes it a little easier. It downloads the exact same way. It has a .exe, so you'll need 7-zip, but you download it. You have all the files. Let's see if I should probably download it. I actually hit cancel. Okay, downloads. Skyrim. Okay. The file is a bit large. It's 1 gigabyte. So it'll take some time for it to download. That's Legendary Edition. Special Edition is exactly the same. The newest version, whatever the newest version is, you click Manual Download. The reason why I don't recommend using Mod Manager Download is currently, in its current form, Relics of Hyrule is kind of large, and mod managers like Nexus Mod Manager and Vortex sometimes struggle with Relics of Hyrule. Mod this size, the mod manager gets confused. So, I recommend hitting manual download and then installing through Nexus Mod Manager after it's been manually installed. I wish I could give you a tutorial on how to manually install a mod through Nexus Mod Manager. I do not use Nexus Mod Manager, so I can't give you those instructions. I wouldn't want to be incorrect, but Nexus Mod Manager, Vortex, they do have instructions for how to install mods. I believe you can find those instructions. Let's see here. Yeah, Vortex. Elegant, powerful, open source mod manager. Yeah, install from file. If you download it, click install from file. That should do it. I would highly recommend reading the instructions on how to install with Nexus Mod Manager or Vortex, because I am not a good resource for that. Please do not ask me for questions about Vortex or Nexus Mod Manager. If it's a Nexus Mod Manager or Vortex issue, I cannot help you. If it's a Relics of Hyrule issue, I can. If it's specific to a mod manager, I cannot help you. Please ask them for support. Or you can join our Discord, the Relics of Hyrule Discord, which there's a link for it in the Relics of Hyrule and Relics of Hyrule Special Edition Nexus site. Yeah, Discourse Server. So under the Hey Listen section, there's a Discord server. Click on that. You can join our Discord server. You can ask for help from one of our other users. I'm there a lot. I am active. All I ask is that you follow our rules and be respectful, and I will do my best to help with Relics of Hyrule issues. If you have an issue with something else, somebody else should be able to help you, but there's also a Discord for Vortex. If you have a Vortex or Nexus Mod Manager issue, please ask them for assistance. I cannot help. There is another mod organizer. It's called Mod Organizer. People have said that this works best with mods like Relics of Hyrule. What it does is that it has a virtual folder instead of modifying your data folder, which we saw there. Skse modified that. Instead of dealing with that, it makes its own virtual folder. So this seems to be a better option for Relics of Hyrule, but it's ultimately up to you how you install your mods. I would recommend Mod Organizer 2. I don't use Mod Organizer 2. I don't use any mod managers, in fact. I'll show you how I install mine. It's not the best way, but it's the way that I know. Mod Organizer 2, once again, download the mod manually, like I'm doing, and then use Mod Organizer to install through the file rather than download it straight from the internet and then install it straight from there, because that could cause issues. Once again, if you have issues with Mod Organizer, I would recommend asking for help from someone who is not me, because I do not know how to help with the mod managers. I do not know how they work. So, please ask them for assistance, or ask someone in our Discord, or I assume there's a Mod Organizer Discord as well. Use Mod Organizer 2 if you want to use a mod manager. Vortex is a little fiddly. Mod Organizer 2 is a little more elegant. Okay. Those are sort of two ways to install the mod. You download it manually, and you go through a mod organizer like Mod Organizer 2 or Vortex or what have you. Now, the way that I install mods is a little different. You will need a program called Wirebash, and you can find it on the... Nope. It's Wyrye, W-R-Y-E Bash. So it's spelled kind of strangely, but you can find it on the Special Edition Nexus or on the standard Skyrim Nexus. Wirebash helps with the way that mods are set up. So you download mods, and you can use Wirebash to not stitch them together, but make them play nice together. It's a mod management tool. You download Relics of Hyrule, you open up that file, and you'll see this. Now, you can do this a couple different ways. You can take this and extract it, and then go straight to your Skyrim installation. But do not put this data folder inside the data folder. The game will not read it. So make sure that it's like this, or you can open up that data folder and make sure that all of these files go into the Skyrim data folder. The reason I have it set up like this is because I wanted to see if Vortex would like it better if there was a data folder and then all of this. I don't know if that changed anything, but what you'll need to do, make sure that Relics of Hyrule Dragonborn.esp, textures, sounds, scripts, and meshes all ends up in Program Files, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Skyrim, Data. You can do that by selecting those files and making sure that they go into that folder, or by just extracting this straight to Program Files, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Skyrim. I'm not going to do that right now because I have all of the files that I'm working on installed, so I'm not going to do that. Pretend I hit OK. Then, you have to manage your load order. You have to make sure that the mod is enabled. Because it's one thing to make sure that those files get into the right place. Special Edition is set up differently. It doesn't have a data folder. It just has meshes, textures. It just goes straight meshes. So just same thing. Make sure Relics of Hyrule Dragonborn meshes all of those folders that I just mentioned. That those go into Program Files, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Data. No, Common, Special Edition, Data. They all go in there. You open it up. They should be in there. You can double check. If you go to your directory, open the data folder, open meshes, open weapons, and if there's a Hylian section, and then like a Locomo section, then you know you've installed it correctly. Then, you have to manage your load order. Like I said, there's a few different ways to do this. First, you can just use the launcher. Excuse me. You can use the launcher, so you can go to your Steam program and click the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, which I will do. Click the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, and then that will load it from the launcher, not SKSE. It will eventually launch Skyrim when it feels like it. There we go. It will bring you to this launcher, and then it will inevitably take its time. You click data files. You have play options, data files, tech support. Click data files, and it will show you the mods you have installed. You scroll down until you find Relics of Hyrule Dragonborn.esp. There it is. And make sure there's a little tick box under load. Make sure that is ticked. Special Edition is a similar approach. With Special Edition, you can manage your mods through the Skse launcher. So you open it up. You open up Skyrim Special Edition through the Skse launcher. And it will take its time. It will load. As always, it'll take its time. And then you click mods. So you have continue, new, load, add-ons, mods. Forget about this. Don't worry about that. You click load order. And then you look to make sure that Relics of Hyrule Dragonborn is enabled. So there you go. Now, that is the simple way of just activating the mod. If you don't have any other mods installed, that's the best way. If you just have Relics of Hyrule, just open up your game and select data files if you're on Legendary Edition through the launcher, and mods through the main menu of Special Edition if you're on Special Edition. If you have Wire Bash, very similar approach. You download it, you install it, and then you open up Wire Bash and you look for it. Usually it puts it at the bottom. So let's find Relics of Hyrule Dragonborn. I can probably find it by just clicking R. There it is. And you just make sure that it's ticked. That little box, make sure there's a check mark. And then you can load it up in game. And the way that you can tell if Relics of Hyrule is installed, I will quickly show you. I'll open up Special Edition again. Okay, once you have loaded your game, you can open the console. By default, it's the tilde or the squiggle key right next to your 1 key. Go boop, open up the console, and then type this command, help Locomo, because Relics of Hyrule, as far as I know, is the only Zelda mod that adds the Locomo sword. Boom, and it should tell you Locomo sword, Locomo strike. That's how you know it's installed. It's very quiet. It doesn't right away tell you that it's installed. Once you reach level 10 and the courier delivers something to you, you'll also get the fairy letter, which is a way you can tell. So that should be good. Another final way to tell if you have it installed is if you go to Riverwood. In Riverwood, there's a glowing light, and there's also a glowing light in several other locations. But in Riverwood, by the smithy, there will be a little glowing light, and you'll be able to hear wind chimes. And that glowing light tells you that it is installed. That is the video, how to install Relics of Hyrule. I've tried to make it as detailed as possible. I hope it helped. If it didn't help, once again, you can check out our Discord if you need help installing it. The main thing is just make sure that it's enabled in your load order, and make sure that you've gotten the files in the right place, whether that's through a mod manager like Mod Organizer or something else. As long as that's enabled and all the files are in the right place, it should be fine. Relics of Hyrule is surprisingly stable. I've done my best to make it simple so it doesn't get too, bogged down with scripts and programming, and it messes it up. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy Relics of